You can have it. Oh no. You can want it. You too. What to do, man? It's your boy Benji, and we are back with the crew. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. Today, I want to hear out David Cooley. So this is supposedly an old video from a Tonight's Conversation episode that was way back yonder. But supposedly, he was up there and he got into it with some of their guests. If you didn't know Cooley, he's the host of the No Fugazee podcast. He typically has roundtable conversations with a bunch of women about dating. Typically, these conversations can get heated, and a lot of his clips lead to these women getting angry, yelling, going back and forth, or just getting kicked out. I like to hear his conversation in a different realm with different people. Let's see how this goes. Let's hear him out.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
You believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Hold on, before we go, what's your math saying?
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
And with all that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk.
Womanese is 6'4", black, attractive.
Look,
I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids.
Oh no. So it obviously got real bad, real south. I mean, the full episode's on the Tonight's Conversation app. Let's hear the comments. A top tier man is a mindset, not a paycheck. Her rebuttal was peaceful and spot on. The only thing she misses is that a top tier man will always put God first and allow him to lead him. Anything but spot on. It was delusional. A man could have all that stuff and more that she outlined. They would not give him the chance, the time of day if he worked at Burger King. So what really matters? The only thing that she missed, how about the fact that she set a standard and couldn't keep it? Lead with love, be considerate. She jumped straight to sign language. If you're going to set a standard, live by it. Lead with love, huh? Show and prove. If spirituality is even in the conversation, where is the love and patience? Person on the internet. She responded to what he said, and let's be grown-ups now. He spoke a bunch of things that lack true substance. A 6'4" man with braids. She basically said that black women would turn down any... How do you get to this point? NFL players, NBA players, singers, rappers with long hair, braided dreads, and afros, whatever. A top tier man is confident, not cocky. A top tier man does not brag on what he has. It will show. So they're coming from two different worlds, I had to say. But before I get into my conversation, there's more clips. So supposedly this is chopped up, obviously, but it's missing a little bit of context.
When I'm in a relationship, I'm not speaking about myself, but if you ask me a direct question, I can answer it anecdotally. I'm 6'4", only about what?
I'm sorry, might have missed the beginning of what he said, but he said he was in a relationship, so I'm not speaking about myself.
8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. Only about, there's niggas, think about it on a world level, I'm in its top 1%.
The conversation alone makes him not ideal or your type, right?
Not ideal for
anybody, right? The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier.
So it can be chopped up in order to convey a specific message. I think that he's coming from the general perspective of a man. Because if you ask other men what a top tier man is, then they're probably going to give you a bunch of examples. If you ask a bunch of women on what they believe a top tier man is, they're going to give a bunch of examples. I think that generally, depending on where you get your answer, it's going to be in a benefit of the person that's giving the answer. What I'm saying is, the top tier man coming from a man is typically going to talk about things that he believes to be intrinsic and tied to a man. And a lot of it's probably going to come with self-improvement, earning income in order to be able to do X, Y, and Z for others. But it's all about the work that a guy has to do coming from a guy. A woman's going to have a perspective of what she believes the ideal man would be and how that would benefit her. I think that's just going to be perspective on who you're talking to and where it's coming from. I think that's where the divisiveness is going to originate. But Cooley's saying the things that I think he believes because he talks to plenty of women on a day-to-day and the typical metrics that they're asking for in order for them to even be considered a prospect, you would have to hit these markers that he's talking about. You would need to be, what did Kevin Samuels used to say, the 666? You had to be 6 foot tall, you had to be a six-figure earner, you had to be well endowed. To even then have the opportunity to be in front of a woman, like she said, and be able to exhibit these traits. You have to be this before you're even there. If you're following what I'm saying. She's looking at the top tier guy who's already at the end zone and what kind of dances he can do in the end zone after scoring a touchdown. Cooley's talking about that in order for you to even be in the end zone, you got to rep it out in the gym. You've got to do drills. You've got to have sleepless nights. And then you'll get to the NFL. You know what I mean? I think it's just a different perspective depending on who's talking and a different timeline. Now, Woman Needs Prattle is crazy. I'm going to say that. That was wild. Let's hear Cooley's response to the viral clip.
Listen, she was speaking with emotion. That podcast, I never said I was a top tier man. You seen that clip, right? The proof?
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
You believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
You didn't say you were a top tier man like verbatim, but you spelled out that you were a top tier man. You're 6'4", you're black, you got
no. I said, she asked me a question. I said, I'm not speaking about myself. I'm not speaking about myself. I'm in a relationship. But from what women are attracted to, I'm this height, I give my percentiles of what I'm in. I said,
that's true. I mean, we saw the clip.
I'll let you do the math.
Are you
right?
There's two clips. The one that jumps straight into the measurements to suppose that he's specifically speaking about himself when the entirety of the clip says, I am in a relationship, so I am not talking about myself. I think it's an important distinction.
Are you a top tier man?
So then they go ahead and clip some stuff out, and she responds, and then I say, listen, baby girl, I'm not talking about you, because she was trying to she thought that I was trying to not pitch myself at her, but I was giving my percentiles and saying things that I was trying to attract her. Like I wanted her standpoint. I'm like, I'm speaking in general of where I'm at. I'm not speaking about your personal preferences. You may not be attracted or like these qualities. That's totally fine. The woman needs is this. I'll explain it to you clear. This is woman needs. I spoke about percentages that men are in, which is the prerequisites, meaning that the man has to meet certain metrics before the woman gives him a chance to see if he has good values and good characters and is a good person. The facts is that
I think that's what we're seeing in a lot of these podcasts is that a lot of these people are speaking about the ideal guy, but he has to be X, Y, and Z first. Then I'll look at his characteristics instead of saying, let me determine his characteristics and then anything else that comes with it in regards to money, income, status, that's all a plus.
If she met the man that had all of those values that she stated, but he was 5'2" and broke, she wouldn't give him a chance. That's why she was speaking womanese. That's what womanese is. They're speaking from emotions, not using any logic. Listen.
What y'all think about that?
Here's the truth. Let me give you some information, some background story. I did about 8 episodes with them. The 2 episodes that they put out was the last 2 episodes I did. When I tell you on these other 6 episodes that I did with them, I cooked them. They were so mad. I was taking over the whole show. I'm doing the same thing what I'm doing with the girls. Wait, you want a leader? Where's your qualities? You want this? I'm killing it. So they got mad. So off of the last 2 episodes, they like, wait, we can't let him get away. We're going to try to not let him speak or twist the conversation and edit stuff. What I'm trying to tell you, bro, they don't stand a chance. I've already asked Ace, I asked a friend of a mutual friend of ours, tell him that I want to do a debate. I'll do it on his platform. I'll fly out anywhere just to do a debate with him, and I would tear his worldview to shreds. He doesn't stand a chance.
Headlines podcast, over 15 episodes.
Shout out to the people that are posting these videos, but I think it's interesting. Y'all should let me know what you think. I mean, if you want to attack Cooley personally, You can talk about his personal life. But I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's acceptable. So there is a possible contradiction in the things that he's advising for the general man to do. But at the end of the day, he can live his life and do whatever he wants to do. I think that at the end of the day, we don't know these people. But it is interesting that that clip was chopped up in order to spin a different narrative. But at the end of the day, the sentiments he shared are still the sentiments that he shared. The sentiments she shared are still the sentiments that she shared. What do y'all believe a top tier man is? Leave it in the comments below. Peace out.